Hi and welcome back to another video. Today's video is about a little secret I like to share with you, so I hope you keep it as a secret too. And this has to do with a car wash we are having constructed. And before I even get into the details of it, I must say that we are actually closer to the main road, so we have a lot of cars passing here and there, causing some noise. So like I said, this is a car wash we are having constructed. During the later part of the video, I'll talk more about why we're having a car wash done, how and all that. Yes, but for now, let's just take a look at what we've done here. So this is the front part of the land. The car wash is seated on an 8,400 square feet of land, which is simply 70 feet by 100 feet. And this is the front part of the property. So this is the fence we are currently still working on. It's been plastered. The plastering is almost through. We have some bars installed on top of it to aid with security. And then we have a gate, a wide gate here, which measures 20 feet wide. And then to the left of it, we have a security post, which is also being constructed. Now to each corner of the property or the fence, we have a pole, which is going to have street lights as well as CCTV cameras to help with security at this particular place. So we've done the fence for the four sides of the property. To the back and to the left and the front, you notice that we used bars for it. And then to the right side, we have a full fence which has been done. The reason is simply because the right side of the property shares a boundary with a different owner who has his land around there. So that is how come. So it means that we have land to the back and then to the side of this particular place. The total number of plots here was supposed to be 5 plots. However, we had to take away the buffer. The reason being that the owner wasn't willing to take away the buffer from it because his reason was when he was purchasing it, that wasn't done. Now the buffer is simply the section you leave by the road so that in case there's going to be any expansion of the road, that section takes care of it. So we left a buffer of about 30 feet. Yes, that is actually not small land, but what can you do when you're looking at something, a bigger picture? You probably will have to do some sacrifices. So that's part of the sacrifices we've had to do in terms of the land. So the car wash area seated on an 8,400 square feet, which is 120 by 70 feet of land. And if you look in here, aside the fence, we have a ramp which is to that side, and then we have a shed area, and then some few other things. So as part of being able to control the volume of water which is going to be as a result of washing activities or even rains, we had to construct drains. So we have drains to the 3 sides of the property. We have one to the front, another to the right side, and then to the back. And the reason is because of the topography of the land. It slopes gently to this from the left to the right side, so that if we are washing cars over there, it's able to collect the wastewater, and then channel it through to the drain, the main drain, which is just by the close of the road. As part of the drain also, we had to construct one in the middle here, which is purposely going to collect water from the ramp and then channel them in here and then go to the main drain. Now eventually this is going to be covered with metal bars so that it doesn't stay open. It's going to be closed. So this is the ramp. Now the purpose of the ramp is to have cars go on top of it, especially for cars who want to have their base washed as a result of lots of mud and all that, so they can have go on top of the ramp. So the ramp was designed to be able to contain 2 cars at a time. So you have one to the left, so that you have one in here. Now the size of this is 24 feet, and it includes the space we left in between. So 24 by 24, so 24 wide, 24 to the long side as well. And before we actually thought of constructing this ramp, I had to do a little bit of research into how to go about it. The reason was I noticed that a lot of people who had ramp constructed for their car wash had it either collapsing or already collapsed, among others. And I noticed that they were doing something wrong, and we didn't wanted to repeat that mistake. So what we did differently was to have some form of reinforcement in it. So if you look at it closely, you notice that there's steel in it. So we created columns. We had 6 columns for each of the ramp, and then we also did mat on top of it. So this is actually a mat that goes all the way through to hit that point. So the same for this, and then the same for that as well. So, and even if you look closely, you might notice the column. There's one in the middle here, and then there's one at the extreme end. And that is to be able to have the structure very firm so that it doesn't collapse. Yes, so this is the back drain I was talking about. And also during the construction, we had to lay the blocks on the flat side so as it gives more, strength and stability as against laying it on the edgeway. So currently we have the ramp being constructed. We're actually not through with it because we have to do the front part of it, which is going to allow cars to go on top. We've left this as it is because we are considering it or factoring it into the floor concrete, which is yet to be cast. So we also have some form of reinforcement in there to help, make it more firm. This section wasn't entirely level. That's how come it's been rough, so that once they resume work, they can fill all that up and then continue with the plastering of the ramp. Aside cars using the ramp, cars can equally park in front of the ramp so they get washed, and then also to the right side of it. I must say that a lot of thinking and planning went into this construction, or the construction of the car wash here, so as it doesn't repeat mistakes that other car wash companies have done and the rest. Yeah, so that's how come we have things properly aligned, properly arranged, accurate measurements and all that. Aside from the ramp and the drain, which we've spoken about, we also have this pipe outlets, which is going to have water channeled through the pressure washers. So this is 4. There's 3 here. There's 1 in the wall here. So there's going to be pressure washers who are going to draw water from the pipes from here. And then we have the electrical outlet over here, which is going to have industrial sockets to provide power to the pressure washers. And then to the side of the property, we have a flat base, which is going to house a 10,000 liters of water storage tank. Of course, we have this pole here, which is going to have the CCTV camera, and then street lights to brighten the place, especially at night. So we also have the pipe work for the plumbing done. So one is going to serve the pressure washers, and one is going to serve the washrooms, which we'll talk about shortly. So one will be using a water pump here. So we have the electrical pipe, which will be providing power to the water pump here, and then we'll have our water storage tank on top in here. I must say that one of the things we actually had to do first before starting with construction was to drill a borehole. So there's a borehole over there, which is so far giving us good volume of water, but we've not tested it to its max yet. So we'll be doing that to see how much water we're able to get before it recovers, getting additional water, so as to know how to go about water, especially for the car wash. Now this is a shed that we've created here, and it's a combination of wood with a shipping container as well as concrete. Yes, that's an interesting combination. Why so? The reason is because I already had the shipping container, which was purchased sometime 2019, and I must say actually did cost 6,000 cedis as of then, but as of now it's about 25,000 cedis. Yes, it tells how depreciating of currency is actually not helping so many things. Yes, but so far so good. I've actually had it from cantonment, took it to Adenta, then through to Ashefla, and then eventually here, and I'm sure it's going to be its final place. So the right of the container is a shed, which is a pergola shed, but the idea is to be able to do some cladding around it, especially the back and then the right side and a bit of the front side. The reason is because once it rains and there's a little bit of air or wind, it comes in there. We don't want water disturbing our customers once they come for a car wash. So we'll be doing that, and that is part of the construction which is here to be done. And we intend to do that actually with pallets, so that it adds a bit of beautification to the whole place. The container is serving as an office slash changing room, so it's already divided. Unfortunately, I don't have the key here, so I'm not able to show you. But for now, we are using it as storage to keep building materials in there, so that it stays safe until the construction is completed. Then to the left, where we have the concrete structure, is basically a utility room and then washroom. So this is the utility room where we are going to have our solar system. So I must say that this entire place is going to be powered by solar. Yes, I'll tell you why later on. And we have our main distribution board and then our main switch here, which is going to be controlling the pressure washers, and then all the sockets which are going to be in here. Aside from that, to the back of it, we have a washroom, which is here. So we have 3 washrooms. 2 are toilet, male and female, and then we have 1 as a bathroom, which is going to be for our security personnel who's going to be on site, as well as the workers. After the day's activity, they can take a bath before they leave for their various homes. So far we've plastered the concrete structure, and we are looking at having the other part of it done, such as fixing the windows, adding the burglary, installing the doors, doing a bit of tile works, doing the ceiling, electrical works, among others, to have it completed. Then you may be asking, how are we treating sewage? Well, we are using a biodigester. Yes, so this is a biodigester which is being constructed, not done yet. So once it's completed, it's going to be serving this particular washrooms in here. And then for the waste bathroom water, it is basically going to go into the drain. So this is the gate for the back. The small one is for the back. That is the opening, which is going to lead to the property at the back. And then we have the very big one, which measures about 22 feet wide. Yes, very wide, so as it doesn't restrict any type of car at all from coming into the car wash. The area or space may not be too wide or too big. However, we intend to utilize a bit of the front space in case we have a lot of cars coming in here during any of the days whilst we'll be working. So we'll be utilizing the front space, which can probably take in about 4 or 5 cars depending on the sizes. And then the inside is also able to take about 20 cars or even more depending on the sizes as well. So yes, our water tank storage platform, which is here. We have the borehole, and then we also have a bit of space between the structure, that is a container shed, and then the fence wall. This is to be able to allow easy passage, and then have some like maybe dustbin or something which is going to be in here to collect all waste that is going to be made from this particular place. Yes, so far this is what it looks like. We've actually taken about 2 months to get things to this particular stage, starting off with a clearing, proceeding with the fence, then going ahead to do the platform for the container, eventually doing this concrete block here, and then finally doing the shed, which is also yet to be completed. Yeah, so far so good. As part of the things that we also left to do is to do the floor concrete, which is actually going to cost an arm because of the amount of cement and steel we'll be needing to do that. But we're actually thinking of substituting the steel for bamboo because it's basically just the floor. So yeah, that is what we are thinking of doing to help us save some cost with regard to that. So we are left with the middle ramp to be plastered and then screeded, as well as the last one to have the screeding completed. Yes, so the reason why we decided to do the metal bars all around to the left and to the back, as well as the front, was to prevent the idea of feeling like you're in like a very closed or an enclosed area. You can easily see outside, and with that matter, you don't feel like you're in an enclosed area. So you can have sort of like a 360 degrees view around, seeing what is going on around. So that was the main reason, and also because the next property belongs to us and we are yet to think of what to do with it. So at least to have some form of security, just to prevent invaders. So that was the reason why we thought of doing the metal bars as against just doing a full fence wall. Someone might ask, why didn't we just do the fence wall to the halfway? Well, we are thinking of security because we'll be having machines in here, we'll be having equipment in here. So even as part of what we are thinking, aside the CCTV camera, is also to have like an electric fence on top of it when it becomes necessary. That's one of the things that we're also thinking of doing, so that whoever comes in here can at least feels safe, being it our customers as well as our those who are going to be working here. So there's safety for all here. So that's why we thought of doing the fence this way. And so far so good. I think it turned out really well. Yes, we have some few of the pillars which are yet to be plastered or dressed. Aside the floor concrete, one of the things that we are thinking of doing, as I said, would be to clad the shed. Now we are thinking of doing it in a form of louvers, so that it will slant at the back. So once you have rains will beat it all right, but wouldn't eventually be able to get into it. That's what we are thinking of doing with it, so that we don't have rains beating our customers once they come in here. Also, we've created rain gutter, and then we've directed everything down. We could have been harvesting the rains. However, the challenge with rainwater is that with time you start having this greenery coming into the tank, which will require you to constantly cleaning it. So that's why for now we are not relying on rainwater, but if it becomes necessary, we'll definitely be harvesting it and see what we can do with that. Now, we don't intend to have this whole place become like a concrete, so we'll be doing a part of it concrete floor, and then we'll have a section which is going to have chippings, just as we have in our house. And of course, we are thinking greeny also, so we are thinking of having some flowers around in here, so that at least it aids with already the greenery we have around. At least having more of greenery is not going to hurt. So that's one of the things that we're also thinking of doing. So here's how it's going to work. Once you come in with your car from there, you drive straight away to the ramp. Either you want to get on top of the ramp, or you stay in front of the ramp, or to the side of the ramp. You get your car washed, and then after that you take a reverse, or maybe whichever way, you park to this particular section all the way to the fence or the section. You can park your car there, also to the side of the fence, and then you can have it cleaned. And then once you're done, you can take your leave as well. So that's how it is going to be. And as I said, a lot of planning went into this as to how to utilize the land space, have everything fit in here without not wasting space and all that. So if you look at the ramp, the size of it is 24 by 24 feet, considering the spaces in between as part of it. And then also we left 3 feet from the wall, so at least there's space you can walk around. As well as at the back, we have 3 feet of space left there, yes, to have the open drain, which is going to collect water and then transfer it all the way through to the main drain. And then also the water storage tank is also 3 feet each from the wall for both sides. So if you actually take a look at this from an aerial view or from the drone, you notice that everything is actually in line. Yes, I tried as much as possible to really be precise with the artisans, especially the masons. So I have been here almost throughout the entire construction, just to see things being done, have corrections done earlier than later. So far so good. We've gotten things right, and I'm actually impressed on how far we've come, hoping that we have everything completed very soon, so we can start operation. And I believe that you would eventually be glad to use a washing bay or car wash once you find yourself around in here. So let's get to the second part of this video, which is going to talk more about why a car wash. Yes, a very good question. So the concept or the idea of a car wash became necessary because we have actually been living here for like 2 years now. This month marks exactly 2 years since we've been in Ashifla, and I must say we don't regret any aspect of that journey, moving from the city to sort of rural setting. Yes, and being here, we've always been thinking about what business can we get into which is going to be sustainable, which is going to at least bring some sort of income in addition to whatever we are doing. So we've been doing a lot of research. Around here we have a lot of farms. We have factories, that food processing factories, processing fruits, dry fruits. So there's a company known as HPW Fresh and Dry. There's Beaumont Farms. There are a couple of factories around here. So we've been doing a bit of research on what we could do, and the idea of the car wash came in because I personally do access car wash services. My wife as well. My wife rides a motor. Yes, she rides a motor. So once a while, we'll take either the car or the motor to a car wash to have it washed. And for the car especially, sometimes I can spend as much as 3 hours at a car wash. Yes, can you imagine? And it's not because I want to spend that amount of hours, because of the delays that usually occurs at the car wash that we usually access. And this happens as a result of inadequate machineries, as well as inadequate staff to take care of customers. And all these places seem not to even have any form of customer service. They don't seem to even care that they are wasting people's time. Yeah, but it's become the norm because those are what's available at the moment. And it feels like the customers don't seem to know that they deserve better as against the services they are being provided. So we are thinking of doing something a bit different in that space. Initially, I thought it was going to be a bit cheap to start a car wash, but looking at all the planning and everything that has gone into it, notice that it's actually not a cheap business. Yes, so if you are thinking of starting a car wash, it's not just about buying machinery, buying land, concreting the floor, doing a ramp, and that's just about it. No. So we've thought so much about the customers having a conducive place where they're able to sit, having a safe environment where they're able to have their car washed. It's under surveillance, so you can't, in terms of theft and the rest, it's going to be controlled, or it's not even going to happen at all. And then also having washroom, which is very key and important to me, because almost all these car wash, which are about 3 around, 2 of them don't even have any washroom for their visitors. And even certain area is really poor. One which has got a restroom happens to be part of a guest house, and they even have a very terrible, sitting area. So as part of all these, it became necessary to at least have something a bit more different. And I must say, it's not even different in Accra. There are lots of places which are just like the car wash that we have around here. So our idea is to try as much as possible to change a bit of the car wash industry, the face of the car wash industry, have something a bit different, so that I'm sure people maybe learn from or emulate same at other places. And even if it goes to become a good business model, we can actually have that done at other places as well. So that is why we thought of going into the car wash. Initially, we were looking at a block factory, but looking at the cost going to a block factory, especially using some of these modern machines, was very much expensive. So actually had a shy away from that. And then also, you might ask, why do we want to power this place with solar? The reason is simple. So as part of doing the research about block factory, there was a need to know what it was going to cost to have power for the block factory. Interestingly, we have high tension that goes across the land to serve the nearby town. So we thought, okay, then getting power was actually going to be difficult, but we were wrong. We had ECG officials come by to do assessment of the place and to let us know how much it was going to cost to get power. And it turned out that it was going to cost about 95,000 cedis, to get power. And there's a catch. That also means that you're going to get prepaid meters. So it means that right after they do the installation, after you pay 95,000, you have to even buy power to be able to use that power they've come to connect for. And we thought it was crazy. So I had to do the numbers comparing solar to the ECG, and it turned out that the solar was going to be way profitable or even cheaper than the ECG, because of course the initial cost of the solar is going to be a bit expensive. We are currently looking at a solution of about 150,000 or a little over, and this includes the panels, the accessories, the inverter. So we are starting off with a 12 kV inverter, and then also the batteries. We are starting off with 400 Ah of lithium-ion batteries, and if it becomes necessary, might probably add an additional 200 Ah. And comparing 95,000 to 150,000, of course, there's a difference of about 60,000, but this is a solution which is likely going to last between 10 to about 15 years. So if you do the numbers, you realize that the solar is going to be a bit better as against ECG. So that is why we are thinking of using solar. Also to make good use of the sun. So we are thinking of having a sustainable business, eco-friendly business as well. So we are running power from solar, and then we have a borehole. We are trying our best not to cause any harm to the environment. So that's why we are thinking of using solar. And also, you might ask, how did we come by the land? I think I've spoken a bit about this in a different video where we had to do a bit of research. Yes, aside from that, during the acquisition of the land, the whole plot was supposed to be 5. It was actually expensive. I'll talk more about the numbers in subsequent videos, and even how we went about the acquisition, especially with the payments. Yes, we went with a certain plan. So I'll share all that maybe in different videos. But we were supposed to get 5 plots in Nor. However, it turned out we have to go with 4.5 plots. The reason is because of the buffer we've had to create, because we are thinking about the future. So that is how come. But also, we'll be utilizing the buffer anyway, so all is not lost. Yes. So that is what we have here. And the idea is to use the other 3.5 plots, or 3 plots, maybe 3.5 or so. I should say, we are still thinking of what businesses we can get into. One of the reasons why I'm making this video is to also, get some ideas from you to what more we can do here. Of course, we have to do some research, which we've started. As part of the options we have is maybe a pub, an event center, a restaurant, and so yeah. But all these are going to cost money. So we'll look at them once we get there. Yeah, but before then, we will eventually fence all the other parts of the property. We currently have somebody farming cassava. We don't want to have it destroyed. We want to wait till he harvests it, and then we go ahead to construct the fence over there. Probably we'll even have him do the farm until when we are ready to use that land. So yeah, that is with regard to the number of plots that we managed to acquire around this particular point. And also, as part of this video, we are thinking of what more we can do in addition to the car wash. With the car wash services, we are looking at detailing, normal car wash, maybe engine wash, the base or underneath wash, vacuum, and among some few other things. But that alone may take some time to help us recoup whatever investment we've put in here. So we are thinking of what more we can do in addition to it. So as part of the options is having like an agent for insurance to maybe renew people's car insurance, or even to pay or buy their insurance here. We're also considering advertisement on the walls. There are a few more, or there might be a lot more. So I'm appealing to you, in case you have any ideas on what more we can do, you can kindly share with us, considering our setting is a bit of a rural urban, so a semi-rural area, or semi-urban area, I should say. So yeah, and also I'm actually have been on the lookout for what kind of pressure washers which we can use over here, which is going to last for a longer time. I've seen a few, but if you happen to be in a car wash industry, and you can recommend some good pressure washers, I'll be glad to hear them. And also considering the fact that we can get some to buy here in Ghana. Yes, sometimes you have to ship some of these things and it becomes a bit more expensive, but if we can get them here, we'll be very glad. So if you could kindly recommend some pressure washers that we can use, that is going to last for a very long time, that is easily used, we'll be glad to hear from you. And of course, any more ideas that you can suggest to help our car wash become better, we'll be glad to hear from you. Yes, of course, we are looking at doing things differently, and that was why we had to do a bit of research. So we actually even conducted a survey among the car washers. We collected a bit of data, and that is to aid us to help to do things a bit more different, and to make what we are doing here much better, yes, for our customers and for ourselves as well. So I believe this video has been a bit of a lengthy one, but yeah, this is what we've been up to lately. It's been actually hectic because I've always had to be here after visiting client sites, ensuring our work's going on at different places. I equally have to come here to see what is going on here, to do some corrections and so on. And it's better that way, so as to prevent a couple of mistakes which will be expensive to fix. So I've always had to be here to see to things being done. And so far so good, even though it's been very hectic, it's been stressful, but it's been good. Yes, I must also say, I'm sure people may be asking, how are you funding this? Well, I do have an investor at this point that we are currently working together to have this completed. So hopefully, maybe with the other business, we probably could collaborate or something. I don't know yet, but once we figure out anything, I'll share with you so we can look at it. Yes, I must say it's really been challenging working here. I'll share more of the challenges later on, especially even with the construction, with people coming by, asking us to stop work, and so on, and how we've had to deal with all that. Yes. That is basically just going to be about it for this video. Yes, cars are continuously going to be passing by because it's a major road. Yeah, of course, yes, we did obtain permits. I'm sure you may be asking, yes, we did obtain permits. So we do have permit for the construction we are having done here, which wasn't cheap. Yes, so I'll share more of these numbers and subsequent series of videos I may be having regarding this car wash that we are having done. So I think it's been about almost 30 minutes of talking. I would like to bring this video to an end, and thank you very much for sticking around through to this particular point. Yeah, so I'll be looking forward to your ideas and your suggestions, in addition to all that you have sharing in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.